Welcome back. For generations, families have navigated conversations around the complexities and taboos that surround the menstrual journey for women. Well, today, the Black Women's Health Imperative is bringing the conversation to the big screen by destigmatizing discussions about puberty and health. Take a look.
I just remember calling my mom from the nurse's office like, I need help, I don't know what's going on.
I was with my dad. All of my brothers were there. Timmy was like, oh no, she's dying. Oh my God, it was so, and I could hear my father, she's not dying. She's just becoming a woman.
I love that so much. You can't go wrong with Cheryl Lee Ralph, right? Joining us now, we have the documentary's award-winning director, Lisa Cunningham. Thank you for being here.
Well, thanks for having me.
That seems like a fun way to have this conversation.
Well, isn't that what we're trying to do?
Yeah.
Normalize the conversation.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's hearing Cheryl Lee Ralph, hearing Tabitha Brown, share their stories so organically.
Yeah.
And then realizing, hey, they may be these big celebs, but they have the same experiences that all women have.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Were you surprised as they were talking about their stories and how they started their menstrual journey, and maybe they hadn't even heard anything about it? Were you shocked by some of the stories?
No,
Okay.
quite frankly, that part I wasn't, because we know that the stigma, especially in my community, exists. We know that oftentimes mothers and families just aren't sharing that information. I mean, we heard women say things like, my mom just handed me a pad and said, go on about your business.
Didn't explain it at all?
Not a thing.
Oh my goodness.
It
How did
was
they learn about
heartbreaking. Well, you learn about it. How do you learn about it?
School friends.
School friends.
Yeah.
Sometimes a teacher, we had a wonderful teacher on, and she talked about how that's like kind of her little ministry, is that she makes sure that she helps her middle schoolers through it, because many of them don't have mothers that are supporting them in the right way.
They're saying they just feel like it's too awkward. We mentioned it was taboo.
Yeah.
Is it still that way today?
It is still that way
Really?
today.
Yeah.
And then the piece that came up too is about menstrual equity. Certain people can't even afford period products. I mean, these are things we don't think about, right?
Right.
People are missing 2 to 3 days of school a month because they just can't afford the period products.
Wow.
And then, and we're here in DC, there's policies around the country that are being created where they don't even want us to talk about menstruation until the 6th grade. But newsflash, everyone, all of the research that's come out recently, and we've known it for years, is that young people are starting their periods much earlier, right?
We were just talking about that, getting ready for this segment. It's happening earlier, isn't it?
So you can't wait until 6th grade,
Yeah.
because half of these kids have already started.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, you wanted to do this documentary,
Yes.
right? It's getting some great success. You were just at Essence Fest last week, right?
Yes.
And you won the Audience Award as the Best Feature Documentary?
Yes.
And you're kind of on the circuit right now.
Yes.
How's it going, premiering this film?
It's it is one of those things where the Black Women's Health Imperative is the oldest and largest organization in the country focused on health equity for Black women, right?
Right.
That's who I work for. And the fact that I was able to do my first love film, have this film that talked about something that our founder did back in 1987. She did a documentary about the same subject. So now I'm doing the 2.0 version, and then it's well received. I mean, come on, Ellen. What else could we really ask for at this point? And it's just getting this message out here. And I think that is what's resonating with the audiences, is that they haven't seen anything like that.
Right.
Where'd this come from?
Well, it's the most open conversation ever. You mentioned some of the people there. Cheryl Lee Ralph is one of them. She kind of reminds me, comedy. She brings a little bit of light to it. Does that help as well?
It does. I mean, you have to bring levity to it.
Yeah.
You have to, because that's life. Through every kind of crisis moment, there's usually some humor in there too.
Right.
And then Tabitha brings, she grew up in a very religious home and in a very religious town. And so she talks about the stigma based on a young Black girl getting her period equated to her being you know, fast, as they would say.
Interesting.
So
Which
all
has
of
no
these nuances, there's zero correlations, right?
Right.
All of these nuances. And then you've got folks that look like me who are just like, hey, you know, we're scared to talk about it just because, you know, there's this stigma of the LGBTQ community. So we had a young girl in the show. So I think we covered so many
It's incredible.
spectrums. And we didn't even realize that there would be moments of trauma that came out.
Right, but it does. Thank you. I mean, everybody's got to go see it. We could talk forever about it. You're in town because there's a DC screening of Me Period. It's this Thursday, July 11th. It's at the Miracle Theater. The show starts at 6:30 p.m. Thank you, Lisa, for being here.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. We'll be right back.